For a number of years, the BVI Cancer Society has been the pinnacle of hope for a number of cancer survivors and victims in the territory. We see women and men from all walks of life traumatized by this disease that claims the lives of millions of people around the world, with an alarming increase right here in the BVI. On June 2nd, we celebrated National Cancer Survivors Day, which saw a few of our local fighters sharing their stories. Of course, you're free to go to our page to view that. But today, we sit down with Miss Gloria Foy. She is the president of the BVI Cancer Society, as well as Vail Aspen. He is the vice president, as well as a cancer survivor. Viewers, I'm Javon Wilson with your 284 exclusive.
The other provider promises a lot. I heard them say they are fast, but are they really?
How long I gotta wait to get connected?
I tried them already and they let me down. All these ads about networks have me confused.
Who can I really trust?
I use a lot of data.
Who can I depend on?
I'm scared to switch.
What if something goes wrong?
Who can I really trust?
I'm scared to switch.
Yeah. Ooh.
Huh?
Beep beep. Vroom. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
Miss Foy, Mr. Aspinall, welcome to 284 Media.
You?
All right, so Ms. Foy, so many things to touch on as we try to reduce, I think, one of the ills that is plaguing our society, not just our society, but countries across the world. But let's begin with the BVI Cancer Society. Just tell us a little bit about what the organization does and essentially what kind of help it provides for our victims.
Okay, as you stated before, my name is Gloria Foy, and I am president of the Cancer Society, along with my vice president and about 40 plus members. What we do for persons in our community, we give medical assistance, whether we're paying for lab tests, chemotherapy, radiation, stuff like that. We also provide emotional support. We don't have a support group as yet, but I am one of the supporters for a lot of persons. They call me late at night, 12, 1 o'clock. I'm always available. I'm on the phone with them hours and hours on end. So those are some of and of course, education is very important. We try to educate the public. We hold seminars because this year, for National Cancer Survivors Month, we did the videos. The other years prior, we did the candlelight vigil, but we decided to take a little twist on it this year and let the survivors tell the stories.
I think that was super important because we got another look at the situation. Most times we hear about, like you said, the awareness campaigns, but no one knows what's happening like the victim themselves. So I really do applaud that effort. And two, we recognize the importance of your society and what you're doing. Mr. Vail Aspinall, pardon me for pronouncing your name incorrectly. Tell us about your tenure at the BVI Cancer Society.
Well, I've followed on from, I think I've been with you 5 or 6 years. Is it 6 years now? 6 years in October. So yes, I'm a past president of Virgin Islands Search and Rescue and currently vice president of that as well. So BVI has been my home for the last 30 years, and this is what I care passionately about. And people around me and stuff like that. Most people know me, have quite a good sense of humor and stuff, so I can laugh about most things. And,
that's important when you're dealing,
so.
especially with serious issues like these,
Yes.
having a sense of humor.
Yeah, I provide emotional support too, like Gloria, people call me and stuff, and I'm blessed with a sort of a gift to see the lighter side of things, and I can usually have people at least tittering, if not laughing out loud, by the time they finish chatting with me. So laughter is the best medicine.
It
Yes, it
definitely is. In this era, I think we are even more health conscious than we've ever been before. But many of us still, we fall short when it comes to our health practices, what we eat, pollution. So tell us about some of the things that you think contribute. I mean, sometimes we unconsciously may do them, but what are some of the things that you think contribute to the increasing numbers we see in the BVI?
I think it's the pollution. It's the air pollutants. It could be the burning of unsorted garbage at the Packwood Pond incinerator. It could be the foods that we are importing, because we need to read our packages, because sometimes the packages say export only. Something, a red flag or a red light, something supposed to click in your mind that something is wrong. Why is the foods only for export only? So we really have to read our labels. This cancer is a fight for everyone. It's not just a cancer society. It will be individual groups, churches, the government, everyone. Because education is the key to a lot of problems here in the British Virgin Islands. We need the school to have cafeterias, because the lunches that some of the, before the storm,
All the
the
processed
lunches that
foods.
they were serving were, processed foods. We need to get rid of the chips and those things. We need to encourage our kids from young to eat foods that are healthy for you, like the fruits and the vegetables. Because if you don't start from young, by the time you get older and you try to force it, it's a waste of
It
time.
becomes a habit. All right, so then you're in full support of the revitalization of the agricultural industry, us growing our own
I've
food
said it
as opposed to importing.
every year. The BVI Cancer Society is behind the farmers 100%, and I hope it's a priority with this government.
All right, Mr. Aspinall, you yourself are a cancer survivor, serving as the vice president, like we said, of the Cancer Society. I want you to walk us through the process from being diagnosed to being healed or being a survivor. Talk about the impact on your physical and your emotional well-being, if you can, for me, please.
Yeah, no problem. I question survivor. I was diagnosed around 6 years ago with possible prostate cancer, but I've had no treatment, I'll be honest with you. The new schools of thought in various parts of the world say that most men will have it, most men will get it, and most men will die with it. The challenge is to die not from it, so to speak, So the more autopsies people do and stuff, they realize that people, he had prostate cancer, but he didn't know, nobody knew. It
goes undetected.
It was undetected and unlooked for, but now people, the medical fraternity, they're interested in studying everybody that passes and why and what went wrong with them and stuff, So we're getting more and more statistics and more people saying, well, it's a 1 in 4 chance and that sort of stuff. But as I say, 3 of those 4 will pass without even having known that they had the problem. So once you're diagnosed, you keep getting observed. You keep getting, as I say, I'm untreated. It's not progressed any further. Laughter being the best medicine. So
Yes.
yes. So no, obviously when the doctor tells you these things,
It takes a toll.
Makes you want to sit down quickly. But then I said, no, you know what? Let's reach out. Let's get second, third, fourth opinions. The BVI is a very small community. We see cases here, but we don't see as many as the States, for example, or the UK or Europe. And therefore, the surgeons and the doctors there are much more in tune. They see many more situations, conditions, various stages of each one. And their advice to me still is leave it alone. If it isn't broken, don't blame it, don't touch it, don't try and fix it, because some things, if you start troubling it, you may actually provoke something that may well have gone undisturbed for a long time. It's like a hot air balloon, as I describe it. If you keep running around, suddenly it's going to pop. But if you leave it there, it'll be.
In addition, I actually admire Phil, because he took it with a grain of salt and he laughed at his situation. Because most time, if you want to fight cancer, did I do it through here?
Right.
You have to maintain a positive attitude, because anytime you get depressed or down, you are actually feeding into the growth of the cancer.
Right. I was just about to ask you about, Mr. Aspinall's situation was fortunate, but not many of the victims go through that process. And it really takes a toll on your emotional well-being. Walk us through the process for somebody who is diagnosed for sure with cancer. They reach out to the BVI Cancer Society. What is the next step?
Okay, they reach out. Why I personally got involved, because when I was diagnosed, I didn't feel any kind of support from the Cancer Society. A person in the office said, look at some documents you read. That's not what we want to do, and that is not what we are about. So when you're diagnosed with cancer and you need assistance from the Cancer Society, you fill an application, and then when you fill an application and you accompany that application with the necessary documents, then we proceed from there. And there's a board of 10 to 11 persons, and we sit down together and we vote to see what we could do for this person. Some persons would, get more monies than others, depending on the severity of the situation.
All right, and we see some increasing numbers, like we said, and I know we had a private conversation about this. Speak to that for me. Do we see more women coming forward, men, children? What are the numbers like?
We see more women coming forward. It's mostly women coming forward. We have a few men for prostate and I think brain or something cancer, but more women. I've only had one child for this year, but otherwise there is a lot of women. One day we had like 6 applications, and I got frightened because we never see so many applications at one time. And then the other day we had 3, but because some are having like 1 or 2, stragglers, but now it's increasing.
All right, this is a big topic that stretches across the world. It affects millions of people, and we're trying to tackle it here in the BVI the best way we know possible. As a wider community, what can we do, not just to support the BVI Cancer Society, but to support the victims, the survivors, and even those who may not be diagnosed as yet, but might need the help?
You want to take this one, Phil?
Yeah, I think it's important to sort of garner the emotional support of their next of kin and their close family friends, because some of them don't know quite how to deal with the situation either. Their loved one has been diagnosed and they're at a loss as to how they can help or take on board the sort of the health issues that will follow that come with the treatment of the cancer victim. So there's that reach out for that support. As far as sort of the community reaching out to the Cancer Society, we are a charity. We don't have money, salaries or stuff like that. We're all volunteers. We're not paid for our services to the community. But the society itself needs money so that we can pass it on to those people in need. We are not a bottomless pit, and the community is small. So we find that people with direct links to family members or historical personal cancers are, dare I say, a little more generous than the guys that won't happen to me.
But this could be anyone's story.
Exactly, it could be anybody's stories, and I say people are, we're all, the younger we are, the more stronger, and that'll not happen to me and stuff like that, and it's not the case, it's not discriminatory at all, it can strike down the fittest, the healthiest, sportiest guy down, or the little old lady in the corner, it's not discriminatory at all. It comes to each and all of us at some stage. As I said earlier, some of us will pass with it, but not from it, so it's out there, sadly, with the way that, as Gloria said, with the foods that we eat, with the treatment of the air and the pollution and stuff, we need to take care of ourselves. And as a community, you need to take care of sort of the Cancer Society, for one of which help in any which way, whether you come out and help at our galas and our fetes, whether you come to our fundraisers and contribute by raffle tickets, every little piece helps.
Okay.
And because, as I say, cancer is an expensive illness in terms of being treated, and we cannot, people come with $10,000 and $20,000 bills, and it's something we can assist, but we can't come up with that kind of money for one particular patient. That's why Gloria said we have a board of almost a dozen members, and we have to sit down and decide who is more needy, you know, of what the little frail things that we have.
All right, Mr. Aspinall.
In addition to what Phil has said, not only your families we need support from, we need support from employers as well. I have known persons who were terminated just for having cancer because sometimes you're away from work a very long time. Now, I have to admit, in my case, I was very fortunate. My employers treated me very well. I was paid the entire time while I was out in New York, and I was there almost 3 months. But some employers, I don't think they have to show any empathy or sympathize. It's a sickness, it's a dreaded disease, and we need the support of everyone, whether it's a cancer society, your family, your employers, the whole community. The support is actually needed.
All right, guys, you heard it. We need to beat cancer, and it requires a holistic approach. Miss Foy, Mr. Aspinall, I know it must not be easy, but I do applaud your efforts. I know that both of you guys are passionate. I appreciate the humor that you bring to such a sensitive topic. And we do appreciate what you guys do for the community.
Thank you. Because we are the BVI Cancer Society, Phil and myself, we are service oriented. We are here to help persons in the community. We care. That's why we get involved. It's sometimes a thankless job, but we still gonna forge ahead and help persons. That is what we are committed to.
And your efforts do not go unnoticed. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming through to 284 Media. I'm Javon Wilson, and this has been your 284 Media exclusive.
Get online today with CCT Go Fast LTE. Simply select from any one of our Go Fast LTE plan options. Each plan offers unlimited wireless residential internet and are priced to suit your budget and required data speed. Stop by any one of our locations and speak with one of our representatives. And get online with Go Fast LTE, the BVI's preferred choice for reliability, speed, and affordability. CCT Life Unlimited.